Ideas are the seeds of innovation, and it's from these ideas that fortunes can be made. You may have a brainwave for the next big thing, but where do you begin? You have an idea that you're sure is worth millions, but you don't have a factory, employees, or means of distribution. But don't let that stop you. Your idea still has value. It's called intellectual property, or IP, and when it's protected, it can be your biggest asset.
Intellectual property is an intangible form of property rights that people can use to protect their ideas, their concepts, their creations that are not physical typically. There are different parts to intellectual property. There are parts of intellectual property rights that protect technology. For example, there are trade secrets, there are patents, and there are industrial designs, and they protect products and features of products and services. There are types of intellectual property that protect brand and brand image, trademarks, to some extent copyright, and then there is copyright, which protects original works of authorship, and those can be creative works like movies, like music, books. They can even be something as simple as user guides and the presentation in a user guide, a collection of information on a website. So every company has intellectual property.
For you to find investors or make an income from your inspiration, you must have proof that you have ownership of this idea and that it's protected. Two ways you can do this. Keep your idea a secret, having any outside parties contractually bound to secrecy. Or register a patent. Once you have protected your idea, you now have the rights to sell or license out the exclusive rights to these ideas. Although a patent may seem like the most secure way to protect yourself, the process can be long and expensive. Your first step should be to find a patent agent.
In order to get a patent, something has to be new, it has to be not obvious, and it has to be useful. And usefulness is pretty easy. Most things work and do what they're intended to do. But in terms of new, it can't have been done before. And in terms of obvious, it can't be obvious. Even if it hasn't been done before, it can't be obvious to someone that works in the relevant area. And it's actually compared to all of the information available to the public anywhere, period, in the world.
Once a patent has been registered, the process usually doesn't end there. A patent should be revisited and improved upon. But intellectual property is more than just patent. Some companies have a different idea of what IP is, protecting the employees who help think up these innovations.
Intellectual property to me is both our people and our code. So the people we have, the brilliance of those people is very important. That's part of our intellectual property we try to protect. As far as our code goes, it's fully protected to the extent we can. And I say that because somebody else down the road may be developing a product today that will come out and serve what we have. So therefore, we're constantly developing that intellectual property. It's something that never stops. It's a rolling program. It's contiguous. You have to never stop rolling forward with your product.
With more industrial jobs heading overseas, our government is transforming Canada into a knowledge-based economy. And intellectual property is at the heart of this new economy. PharmEng is one company that has built a business in R&D. Their goal is all about creating new intellectual property.
IP, intellectual properties, is something that we're always striving for. And we also help our clients to maintain that particular intellectual properties. Like if you're looking at what knowledge-based economy is all about, that is all about IPs, all about intellectual properties. What is it in our head to actually help us to generate more revenue, to generate more income, to generate more knowledge base?
There are many ways to make a fortune in business, and today it's innovative ideas and knowledge that are leading the way.
Patents and other forms of intellectual property, they actually open up the doors to different kinds, different opportunities to leverage an idea. For example, a person doesn't have to build a product and sell it and figure out all of the importation and supply chain, distribution chains that they might do if they wanted to run a full business. In many cases, people are patenting improvements on the products that exist, and their goal is to license them back into the industry, often to the manufacturer that's already making the existing product.
Big Fish Video Productions.